Hi guys, it's Andy here, back with another video. This time I'm going to be talking you through how to make edits to the loot.xml. This is one of the more important XML files. Obviously, if you've been getting creative, you've made your own items or weapons or anything like that. That's great. But if you actually want to make them usable in the game, you're going to want to have them appear within the world. Okay? So, if you've seen my previous videos, you'll see I made a minigun as a custom weapon. So I'm going to be showing you how to add that to the loot file, and just going through some of the other things that you can do in here, and just explain sort of what everything means. Okay? There's sort of 4 sections to this, and counterintuitively we're going to be starting nearer to the bottom. Okay? What you'll notice is there's 4 different sort of strings of code. Okay? First ones are, well, the last in the file, but the first ones you'll want to be interested in are the ones that are called loot container. Okay? What these are is it's the information that's attached to a block that acts as a crate. So, for example, Pimp's kindly labelled all of these for us so we know which is which. This first one is miscellaneous storage and cardboard boxes. Okay, they've given it an ID of 1, which means if you looked up cardboard box in the blocks XML, you'd find somewhere in there a string saying that it was loot container 1, and that all that's doing is it's linking back to this little bit of code. Okay. First thing to know about it is the main information here that you'll be interested in is this information, the bit separate. Okay. What this is it contains the information which tells the game what items can be found in that particular loot container. Okay, so in this case, it's not referring to individual items, it's referring to something called loot groups, and that's the next thing we're going to look at. Okay, a loot group, all it is a list of items which are sort of just tied together, so you don't have to type them all out individually. Okay, and this is just denoted by item group. Okay, if we scroll down to here, you can see we've got a group of stuff and then a couple of individual items because they're item name. Okay. Other things you can do in this little section is set the probability of how often you want that to appear within that container. So in this case, for the cardboard boxes and miscellaneous storage boxes, most of the time you'll get junk. But 0.1, which is 10% of the time, you will get a book. Okay. The next information to know you can learn from these and edit here is the count. This is how many things appear within the container when you loot it. Okay, so in this case it's 0 to 2. Okay, that means either nothing will appear, 1 item will appear, or 2 things will appear. Okay, if you set the first digit to 1, it means something will always appear, because there's no chance of you ever getting nothing. Here's an example, the nightstand. So what this is saying is you can never not find anything in a nightstand. There'll always be at least 1 item in it and a maximum of 2. Okay, this is done on a random basis of equal chance. Okay, the next parameter is size. So in this case, a cardboard box has a size of 4×4. All the containers are restricted by the shape. Okay, So effectively, think of it like the crafting window. You've got the blocks next to each other. Say blocks, not really blocks, the squares where you can put things. Obviously, we can't have, say, hard to explain. Basically, you use it like a coordinate system. Okay, so 4 means it's 4 by 4, so you've got 16 spaces. Okay, in the garbage you've got 3 by 3, so you get 9 spaces. Fridge has 6 by 3, so 18 spaces, and this is how you have to do it. So say if you wanted 5, you'd have to be 5, 1, which means it'd be 5 along and only 1 deep. You couldn't have 5 split up any differently. You couldn't have 5, say, across 2 lines, because it wouldn't be an even number. That's the thing you've got to remember. It's always got to effectively fill out an entire square evenly. So yeah, that's how you adjust the size of objects. Say if you wanted to increase the size of the chest, I believe that is loot container 10. That's 8 by 4, so that's 32 spaces in a chest. Say if you thought that was a bit too much or not enough, you could adjust this. Okay, so you could make it 8 by 6 or 8 by 5 or 10 by 4 or whatever, and change the total number of spaces in there. Okay. The next attribute that is controlled here is the sound opening and sound closing. Really, there's no real need to touch these unless you're making one of your own, and then in which case you'll just want to copy the closest sound to the loot container you've created. Okay. The final thing you can control here is the loot quality template. Most of the time this will simply be set to base template, and I'll go over that in a bit more detail later when we come to it. Okay, so that's how you adjust the attributes of individual containers and what you find within them. So the main thing is what you find within them. It's either going to be the individual items which you name individually, or one of these loot groups. And the loot groups are the next thing we're going to look at. Okay, so the loot groups are the third sort of batch of things that appear. And as you can see, the loot groups and the loot containers take up the bulk of the file. So the first loot group we've got here is ammunition, or ammo as they've called it. And as you can see, it's got all the different types of ammo in the game, and it lumps them all together in a handy string, so you don't have to type all these out individually for the crates, the loot containers, at the bottom of the file. Okay, so all you do is write loot group ammo instead of loot aim shotgun shell, loot name 9mm, etc. Within the loot group, you also set the count of, if it's something like ammunition where you want more than one item to appear, you set how many you want. Okay, this is always random, so whenever the loot group ammo is found in a container, 10mm will be found. You'll either get anywhere between 1 and 20. So you could adjust this if you wanted to find more ammo. Say if you decided to play in a game very sort of more hardcore where you couldn't craft any ammunition and you wanted to find a little bit more just to make it a little bit fairer, you could adjust that here. So yeah, you can also set probabilities as well. So in this case they've made the 44 Magnum bullet a rare item to find, so they've given it a probability of 10%. Okay. Yeah, that's basically all the loot groups are. They're just a way of lumping a lot of items together to make code simpler later on. Okay. So as promised, I was going to show you how I would go about adding my minigun to a loot file so that you would be able to find it in game. Okay. So the best way to do this is to find an item that's very similar. Okay. Usually, say if you were making custom medicine or something, you'd want it to appear where, say, bandages appear all the time. So, and same for weapons. In this case, we're going to be adding the minigun. I would class it as a top tier weapon. So, a sniper rifle is a top tier weapon, so we could use that as our sort of template. So if I scroll up to the top of this loot group section and use the Control F function, which brings up this little find box, I type in sniper and click find next. You'll find the first place within this XML file where sniper rifle is mentioned. Okay, the first one that comes up is the loot group for sniper rifle and ammo. Okay, this controls incidences where you find a complete weapon and ammunition with it. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to duplicate that. Okay, we'll just add it in straight underneath. So we'll duplicate it. Okay, and we want this to be for the minigun. Okay, so we're going to delete where it says sniper rifle and type in minigun. And all this is doing is naming this particular loot group. So obviously we can't name it the same as sniper rifle plus ammo, so it just indicates the name of this particular group. These strings inside the loot group dictate what's in it. So obviously what we want in it is 7.62 rounds, because that's what the minigun takes. So that's fine as it is. We could adjust, say, the count, because it uses more ammo. We could say find between 1 or 30, say. And we want to add the minigun. So the easiest way is to go to the items XML file where you've created your weapon or thing that you want to add, and just copy the name across so you get it right. So that's it. We've just created the minigun loot group, which we can then add to containers. Okay, so now we go back to the Control F menu, and again we look for sniper to find where it next appears. Okay, so where we next find sniper rifle information is in the loot group military weapon parts. Okay, this controls the parts, obviously, for the top tier weapons. So what we want to do is we want to copy the sniper ones and add them again. And we want to replace the names with the names of the minigun parts. So it's very simple. It's easy just to click across and copy the names. And all this does, it means everywhere that you can find the sniper parts, the MP5 parts, you can also now find minigun parts. So typically that would be the military ammo crates and the airdrops, things like that. Okay. So next we want to go back to our menu again and look for the next incidence of where sniper appears. Sniper schematic, we don't need that because there isn't a schematic for the minigun. So click it again. So the next incidence is here, and this is another loot group called military guns and ammo. Okay, so this is saying within the military guns and ammo loot group, it has the group military weapon parts, which we've just added our minigun parts to, and MP5 plus ammo and sniper rifle plus ammo like we made. That was the first thing we made. So what we want to do is we want to add the minigun plus ammo loot group to this. Obviously the parts will obviously already come under the military weapon parts loot group because we just added them in, we haven't created a new one. So if we scroll up and find where we made our minigun loot group. Sorry, we can copy the name. And add it to the military guns and ammo loot group. I just didn't think that through very well. Alright, you want to copy the string first, and then just type it in because I know what it's called. There we go. Minigun plus ammo. Okay, so that's it. You've now added the loot group for the complete weapon and some ammunition to this sort of more expansive loot group. So if we go and again search for the next place sniper appears, that's it. That's the only place sniper appears. So that's it. All what we've done there is we've now made the minigun and the minigun parts appear everywhere that a sniper rifle can appear, and where the sniper rifle parts can appear. Okay. Obviously, in this instance, the sniper doesn't appear individually in any of the loot containers. Just have a look through this a second, see if I can find an example. Okay, right here. Supply crate general. This is what drops every time now from the aircraft that brings these supply crates. This is loot ID 34, and it contains the groups rare box, airdrop medicine, and military guns and ammo. Now, if you remember, military guns and ammo contained military weapon parts group, the MP5, the sniper, and the minigun group as well. So obviously this single string of code tells the game that you can find all the rare weapon parts, all the rare weapons and ammunition to go with them in the crate. That's literally how it works. It's just tidying everything up so you don't get huge strings and lists of items that's hard to manage. Okay, so that's it. That's all it takes to add items and weapons, that sort of thing, to the loot group. There's a couple of things I want to cover before we end the video. Like I said, there was 4 main things in this file, so this is what appears at the top. Okay, and it's a section called loot placeholders. Basically, for each biome, as you can see here, we've got loot, one for loot forest, loot wasteland. It doesn't spawn in things just on its own. If you look in the creative menu, there's a special block called loot placeholder with a tag after it. So in this case, it will be loot forest. Okay, and all it is basically a piece of information which tells the game to replace when you load that chunk of the game the placeholder block with any one of these blocks in this list for that particular biome. Okay, so in the case of the forest, we've got 9 different trash piles, stumps, backpacks, duffel bags. Okay, so basically all this is telling you is what blocks, they call them blocks, all the blocks are lootable objects. Otherwise it would be pointless having it in this file. And the probability with which they spawn. So as you can see, the probability of getting that trash pile is always 10%, and backpacks and duffel bags is 0.03%. 0.03, which is 3%. Okay, so you're over 3 times more likely to come across a trash pile than you are a bag. That's basically it for the placeholders. You won't really need to edit these much, unless you wanted to, say, reduce the amount of trash piles you found and increase the amount of duffel bags or things like that. But But again, it's not something you'd normally fiddle around with. Sorry. Final thing I want to look at is templates. Okay. This is just skip over these first two for a second because this is the main one. This is the base quality template. What this controls is how often you find rare items in game, and it's always based on your level. Okay. So you can change these if you want to, or you can adjust. Okay. So all this tells us is that for between levels 1 and 10, the probability of you finding crappy stuff between quality 1 and 100 is a probability of 1, or 100%. The probability of you finding something flawless, or sorry, not flawless, but anything between quality 301 and 600 is only 5%. So yeah, and as you move on, you'll see the boundaries shift. So by the time you get to level 11, the quality band for this first parameter shifts from 1 to 200. So instead of only being able to find, faulty quality items, you now find faulty and poor quality items almost all the time. And you can see this last one has dropped from 301 to 600 to 401 to 600, which means the chances of you finding something between 300 and 400 has dropped down a tier, which has a higher percentage. That's how it shifts. So by the time you get to level between 51 and 60, you've only got a 0.4% chance, 40% chance of finding something between 1 and 300. So you've always got a good chance of getting something a bit better. Okay. So the bit above this are overriding templates. Okay. Everything as standard has this quality template attached to it. The main one here that's interesting is the rare books template. This rare books template is attached to so if we come down here to the books loot group, you can see it's got the rare books group in, and they've added this template as an override. If we go back up to it, what it does is change the parameters. Okay, so between levels 1 and 10, you have a 0.2% chance of finding the rare books rather than just the standard non-rare books. If you watched Games for Kicks' Alpha 12 series earlier in the year, you may remember him having a right ordeal of a time trying to find a leather book. That's partly his own fault. He came up with the way of leveling very quickly at the start by crafting woodlog spikes, the wood spikes rather, which meant that he skipped over these early levels very quickly. So a consequence of going higher up the levels and using this sort of template method is that as your chance increases of finding these rare books, the chances of you finding the non-rare books drops way down. So by the time he was level 40, and he's over level 40, and he still hadn't found one, the probability of finding rare books was 100%. So it was incredibly rare that the non-rare book would actually appear anywhere for him. Because that effectively eliminates finding them in bookshelves in stores. Because you've got a 100% chance of finding rare books instead. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the loot tables. Like I say, the main things you can do here are add things that you've made to existing loot. And that may involve creating your own little loot group. You can try fiddling around with probabilities and things, but it's a little bit confusing and it's very hard to actually gauge in game. It's something you're going to have to do and then play the game for quite a long time to get any sort of reasonable feel for these probabilities, so I tend to leave them alone. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, if you decided you wanted to make a custom block and wanted to give it the properties of a crate, you would have to come to this file and add a loot container string for it. And that way you could give it its own properties. You give it the sound on open and close, that you can adjust the size, say how often you want things to spawn in it, and what, if anything, you want to spawn in it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the loot XML. If there's anything I've not explained clearly or anything you don't quite understand, feel free to drop me a comment and I'll try and get back to you and clear anything up. If you've enjoyed this and found it useful, or either or, drop me a like, subscribe for more tutorials and more mods coming soon. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.